Hello everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Juniper webinar. First of all, I will introduce myself, since most of you won't know me. My name is Ismael Van Domselar, and I work in the same team as Miguel Ángel Hinojosa and Cristina Vizquerra. I'm here today to introduce you this new concept of Juniper comparison tool. So let's make an overview of the different points we'll see in this presentation. First of all, I will start with an introduction. Then I will move on to what is the comparison tool module, how does it work, what added value does it bring to your business. Then we'll see a live presentation in which I will show you how it works. And finally, we'll finish with a conclusion of the most important aspects we'll have seen until that point. So, without further ado, let's get started. You will notice that in the right side of your screen, you have a control panel in which you will be able to make questions in case you have them. During this presentation, I will stop to respond them, so don't hesitate to ask questions if you have them. So with an introduction, as you may know, we like to show like a bigger picture of all the available modules we have in Juniper. Now you have highlighted in orange the different modules that already have a Juniper webinar edition, and so you can already check them in our YouTube channel. Those are predefined packages as well as dynamic packages, our module of business intelligence, unique hotel that will be also very relevant for the topic we'll be covering today, promo codes, e-learning, and obviously our website, both in B2B and B2C in the responsive versions. The last webinar we made was about parallel search, and we placed it outside this diagram because it affected the searches for a hotel. And in more or less a similar way, this comparison tool module works for accommodation, and it needs of unique hotel to be activated. And we'll see in a few seconds why. So, what is the comparison tool? We have used these three main concepts to explain you what it is. First of all, it is a module that allows you to compare the prices that different suppliers offer for the same hotel. It allows you to make searches by market, destination, dates, and room type. There is also the possibility of specifying the board type and even the hotel. This module is useful to study the competitiveness of suppliers and to have information for the study of the market. How does comparison tool work? Then we've also used this picture so you can see how does it work. As all of you know, the different products, the hotels, can be either own accommodation or they might come from the several different suppliers that you have connected. All these products gets unified with the unique hotel module that affords every hotel with a specific code. This code helps to avoid any kind of duplicities, and so allows this other comparison tool module to work. And with the comparison tool module, you will be able to do these searches using different parameters such as market, agency, destination, dates, room type, and board types. It's also important to note that you will choose a base supplier with whom you will have to compare the rest of the suppliers. There is one screen of searches, but we differentiate two types of searches based on the results. So even if the search parameters are the same, that we will be seeing them in a while, the type of results that we will see are different. So for the first type of results, we will first find a summary table with the total number of hotels available for that destination among all suppliers, also the number of total available hotels for each supplier, and the number of hotels that these suppliers are offering the best rates, both for the different board types and also in general. After this table, we'll have like a list of all the different available hotels for this destination. And for each and every one of these hotels, you will have the information of which suppliers are offering them and the prices that they have available for each board type as well. In the other screen results page, we will also find a summary table, but it's a much simpler one. It will have the total amount of available hotels for each supplier, and then in the list of hotels, we'll see the comparison between this base supplier, the one we are interested in, and compared to the best comparator for each and every one of the hotels. So what added value does it bring to your business? You will know the total number of unique hotels that your suppliers offer you by destination. It allows you to identify which suppliers offer the best rates for the same hotel and board type. It will let you compare a supplier with the one that offers the best rates. It will let you compare your own product with the ones offered by your suppliers. And most importantly, with this data, you will obviously be able to make strategic decisions based on the results that this tool offers. Okay, now we will proceed with a live presentation in which I will show you the different aspects of this tool. First of all, we have to access our intranet. In the intranet, you log in with your user. As you know, the first thing we see in this page is the list of all the different bookings. And how do we access the comparison to module? Well, it's actually quite easy. It's one of the main links you have in the top right corner. Just here, comparison to. We click on it, and it will send us to the main search page. First of all, I want you to notice this option here, in which you have View Comparison and View Competitors Best Rate Comparison. If you click in this View Competitors Best Rate Comparison, you will see that nothing changes visually. That's because these are the two types of searches I mentioned beforehand, and they are basically the same in terms of the parameters, but the search results that you will see afterwards are different. So bear that in mind. In one side we have the filters, and in the other one we have the board types. So let's start with the filters. First, we will specify the markets. In our case, these all are markets we have for our test environment. As you can see, our agency is an agency of test as well. Then, the destination, that, for instance, can be Barcelona. Okay. Then we decide the dates, for instance, from the 1st of March until the 4th. The room type, The room type in this case is just depending on the number of people that can accommodate. So single room, double room, and so on. In our case, we will select 2 people per room. The language is not a very important option. In this case, we just leave it as it is. Hotel name is this an optional place in which you can actually type the name of the hotel if you want to specify more. Then base supplier is probably one of the most important parameters of this search, and is the one from which we will be comparing the other suppliers. As you can see, in our demo, we have just these different suppliers activated because it's a test environment. And these 2 are the ones that are functional. So we will be seeing results of Hotel Beds and Turico, and we will use them to display the tool. But also important to mention that alojamiento, that as you can see is still not translated, is own accommodation. So if you wanted to compare your own accommodation with the suppliers, you can actually click on here. So we select Turico. Price type is depending on cost or sale, if it's already applying the markup. And then the board types, that as you can see here, we have these 5. It is actually something that you can configure from your intranet. So you may have more than these 5 board types, but since these 5 are like the most generic ones, the searches will be made according to this. So we check them all, and we proceed to make the search. Well, this search is more or less 20-25 seconds on average. It will show us these results. As you can see here, this is the table I was mentioning earlier that shows the different suppliers we have available with the total number of hotels they have available for these search parameters you have put before. And this is an important thing to mention. Best rate is dividing these available hotels in different board types. But as you can see here, TI, AD, PC, MP, and SA are the initials of the different board types, but they are still not translated. So TI will be the same as all-inclusive, AD is the same as bed and breakfast, PC is the same as full board, MP is the same as half board, and SA is the same as room only. So what is this telling us? First of all, it is telling us that for this destination and these dates and everything, we have no results of all-inclusive. But it is also telling us that Turico is offering us the best price for bed and breakfast for 8 hotels. And Hotel Beds is offering us the best results for this board type for 164 hotels. You can see that the Turico is highlighted in green, and that is because it is the base supplier we have mentioned earlier. So this is telling you the best rates for all the different board types. And in this column, you have the absolute best rates. That is, ignoring completely what kind of board types you have. Basically, Turico is offering you the best rates for this destination for 244 hotels. And in this number here, you can see the total number of hotels available for this destination. It is also important to note that you will see here all the different suppliers you have connected. Now, after the table, we have the different, this is the list of all the 324 hotels we have available for this destination. And as you can see here, in this column that says competitor, we will have more than competitor is the different suppliers that offer this hotel. In case of Turico, it is highlighted because it's the base supplier and it wouldn't be the competitor. But everyone else, it is indeed the competitor. The zone, it depends on the way the supply is calling it, but it doesn't matter. Then the room type. And in this place, we have again divided the different prices on the board types. So as you can see here, our base supplier doesn't have available results for these 4 board types, but it does have a result for room only. And in this case, it is highlighted in green because the price it is offering, it is better than the price of this competitor. But in order for you to see the opposite case, in this hotel, Turico, that is the base supplier, is offering a more expensive price. And so it is highlighted in red. So this is the screen of results of view comparison. And then view competitors best rate comparison will show us the same options, but if we make the search with the same parameters, we will see this. A much simple table in which you have the total amount of available hotels per supplier, and then a list with all the different hotels in which you can see the board type, the competitor, in this case, the base supplier is Turico, so it won't be a competitor, but it's shown like this because in this case, it is the only supplier that offers this hotel. And so there is no comparison whatsoever. Obviously, this is because we have only 2 suppliers for our testing environment, and this is actually not very common. But in the second case, we have a hotel that both suppliers are offering, in which you can see that in the column of competitor, you have hotel beds, that is not Turico. In here, in rate, you have the rates of the best competitor, and in base rate, you have the rates of the one you have set as base supplier. In this column, finally, you have the percentage of difference, and in this case, it is highlighted in green because, again, our base supplier is offering a better price than the competitor. In this second case, we can see that for the board type AD, that as we said before, AD is bed and breakfast. This competitor has the availability, but Turico doesn't. And in the case of only room only, both have availability, and the supplier that is the competitor has a better price, and so it appears highlighted in red. Okay, so this is the list demonstration. So let's see if we have questions regarding these things we've seen so far. Yes, we have a question that is asking if we have 30 suppliers, will we have the 30 different suppliers for which hotel? And in this case, the answer would be yes. If you have for that search 30 available suppliers, obviously we have to consider the parameters and the destination, and the case if there is availability, then of course they would appear listed. And that's why the colors are really useful for you to guide yourself. Otherwise, we just saw the case of 2 suppliers, so it was much easier to see, but we saw it for some clients that have some similar tool, and it was like only 3 or 4, and it was already something you needed to see highlighted. So we'll proceed with the closure, in which we will make a summary of the different points we have set. First of all, it is a module that allows you to compare the prices that different suppliers offer for the same hotel. As you have seen, you have the list. Then it allows you to make these searches by market, destination, dates, and room type, with the possibility of specifying the board type and even the hotel. And it is useful to study the competitiveness of the suppliers and to have information for the study of the market. Okay, so in here you can see the link for our landing page, in which you will find all the same information we've commented in this webinar. If you click on View More, then you will have the information. And also in your support channel, if you click on Support Online, on the right side you will have the list of all the different webinars. You will find the page for each of them with the information, and in the bottom of that page you will find the video. Obviously for this case there is no video because we are recording it now. And then if you want to see all the previous videos we have for the different webinars, you can check them on our corporative website. At the bottom of our corporative website there is a link for our YouTube channel, and in our YouTube channel you have available all the different webinars we've done until this day. So in case you have any further questions regarding this webinar comparison tool module, we leave you here the contact information, and thank you for assisting to this presentation. It's been a pleasure.